Welcome back, history foodies. I'm Kailah, Dr. Murry by day, where I teach leadership and operations, but by night, I'm a history lover and foodie on a mission. Each episode, I uncover the hidden stories behind the historic spots that serve up more than just great food. They serve a slice of the past. So grab a fork and join me on History 8 here. New York City isn't just a concrete jungle. It's a 5-borough buffet of history. From immigrant-run delis to colonial taverns and Gilded Age steakhouses, every block has a story and a menu. And today we're biting into the Big Apple's delicious past. Before the ink dried on the Declaration of Independence, before Washington said goodbye to his troops, there was a tavern. And this isn't just where the founding fathers ate. It's where they plotted, toasted, and maybe even gossiped over a pint or two or three or four or more. And today on History 8 here, we're pulling up a chair at Fraunces Tavern, where every bite tells a revolutionary tale. If you've ever walked past the tavern, you've probably noticed this place is covered in plaques, and for good reason. From presidential farewells to revolutionary heroes, this tavern wears its history on its walls, literally. Let's decode the past as we walk these walls together. I'm standing in the heart of Lower Manhattan, where revolution once simmered and dinner was served with a side of treason. Before New York City was the city that never sleeps, it was a powder keg. In the 1770s, this was the second largest city in the colonies and a hotbed of political unrest. Ports, publishing presses, spies, and soldiers, New York City had it all. It was the crown jewel of the colonies and the city both the British and the Americans were desperate to control. And at the center of it stood Fraunces Tavern. This isn't just a bar. It's where the story of American independence got personal. On December 4th, 1783, just days after the British troops evacuated the city, General George Washington walked into the long room of the tavern. There he embraced and thanked his officers one by one in an emotional farewell after nearly a decade of war. It was a moment of closure, of honor, and it happened right here. But the tavern story doesn't begin or end with that tearful goodbye. Born around 1722, Samuel Fraunces established himself as a successful entrepreneur by the 1750s. His tavern, originally called the Queen's Head, quickly became one of the most respected public houses in colonial New York. He wasn't just a successful restaurateur, he was also a quiet revolutionary. According to some accounts, he may have helped foil a plot to poison Washington. His loyalty to the cause and his ability to create a space for leaders, rebels, and thinkers made the tavern a hub of early American strategy. This tavern hosted secret meetings of the Sons of Liberty, including men like John Jay and Alexander Hamilton, and it served as a safe space, a planning room, and occasionally a place to unwind with a tankard of ale and a plate of oysters. And yes, the food mattered. Colonial taverns weren't just watering holes. They were places of business, diplomacy, and alliance building. Over hearty meals, political plans took shape. And at Fraunces, the menu today still nods to its revolutionary roots, serving dishes inspired by 18th century fare in the same space where freedom was literally on the table. Today, the tavern is part museum, part restaurant, and entirely sacred grounds. The building has seen fires, rebuilds, and restorations, and it remains a place where America's early identity was forged. Here we go into the food. Check out their website for the current menu before you go. But it was a hot June day for me at the time, so I had a wonderful, refreshing tea from Harney and Sons. Then I moved into the chicken and shrimp curry. Yellow curry with peppers, onions and mushrooms, and jasmine rice. Those shrimp pieces are big. Yes, they have the tails on them. It's still worth the work you have to put in to be able to eat the meal. totally delicious. At the time I went, they had this wonderful salad on the menu. You can see there's some apple slices in there, a really great dressing, and some beef slices with it. Again, check that menu. They change these things in and out. My apologies, no video to this one, but this is the shrimp linguine. This has shrimp shard, mozzarella, sweet cherry peppers, shaved Parmesan, and can be vegetarian as well. I enjoy a little coffee with my dessert, which I stole a little bite from this beautiful piece of chocolate with ice cream. But this, oh my gosh, they're sticky toffee pudding. So a couple of shots in here, a dulce de leche ice cream, but more than that, there's caramel sauce on top. And then right there in the center, do you see that center? Delicious. According to my research, as we leave out from the tavern at this time, after the Revolutionary War, the tavern evolved from a colonial meeting spot into a building with many lives. In the 19th century, the original structure suffered some fires and renovations that altered some of its appearance. It was really no longer just a tavern. It had some offices, stores, and at one point apparently even a boarding house. But the early 20th century preservationists realized its importance. And thank God for the Sons of the Revolution. In 1904, apparently they buy and restore the building, aiming to recapture its character. Thank you so much to the Sons of the Revolution. Now here is where I depart from the tavern and tell you about the history of a pretty famous guy that is actually on one of these plaques. In the shadowy world of espionage during the American Revolution, there was one man who understood that battles weren't only fought on the fields, but in the shadows. His name was Benjamin Talmadge, and he was George Washington's spy master. Talmadge wasn't born a spy. He was a Yale-educated son of a pastor turned cavalry officer, but in 1778, under orders from General Washington, he created the Culper Spy Ring. And this was a covert network operating under everyone's nose, including the British in occupied New York. But in 1780, Talmadge found himself at the center of one of the most dramatic betrayals in American history, and some of these artifacts exist today at West Point. That summer, British Major John Andre was captured near Tarrytown, New York. Hidden in Andre's boot were papers exposing a shocking plot. General Benedict Arnold, once a hero of the Revolution, had planned to surrender West Point to the British in exchange for money and a commission in the British Army. Talmadge, ever suspicious, was the first to sense something deeper was at play. He personally questioned Andre, and while admiring the British officer's manners and courage, duty outweighed sentiment. And Talmadge was haunted by the memory of Nathan Hale, his Yale classmate and close friend, who'd been hanged by the British for spying. Now the roles were reversed, and it was Andre who faced execution. As for Benedict Arnold, he fled to the British side just in time, escaping justice. But Talmadge made sure Andre did not. Despite many appeals, Andre was hanged as a spy on October 2nd, 1780. His death marked the high water point of Talmadge's intelligence career and helped preserve one of the most vital American positions of the war. If you want to know more, please go visit and support all these wonderful historic places that you see. I had the chance in the June of last year being 2024, to visit New York City, to go to West Point for something I had to do at work, and it was an amazing place to see. So much great food. Please subscribe, keep it here with History 8 here, where as long as I'm approved, I will show you guys more about what I got to see around West Point. But Benjamin Talmadge would go on to serve in Congress and live to the age of 81, but he never forgot Andre or Arnold. In his later writings, he called Arnold's betrayal the most shocking and lamentable event of the war. Talmadge's quiet war in the shadows helped win the Revolution and reminded America that not all heroes wear uniforms. Some carry coded letters and ride with secrets. Thank you for joining me. I hope to see you again. And here is my beloved Om Nom 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 Nom, the History 8 here mascot.